My Big Fat Pull List is the name of this highly produced special mission podcast. Its purpose? To provide deep dives for the listeners covering comics, games, movies, and all things pop culture.
Well, hello, listeners. Welcome to a very fun and another exciting episode of My Big Fat Pull List. Doctor Impact here, joining me.
Smurphy.
And Smurphy, we're back. It's been a year. We are back at the Heroes for Kids Comic-Con
in Perryville, Missouri.
In Perryville,
which is an hour south of South County, St. Louis, guys.
Yeah.
So if you're in St. Louis, it's literally right down 55. You can't miss it.
And this is what? This is their fourth year, I think, right?
Yeah. I can't count.
No, I think it is, because I think it's May the 4th be with you, and I think that's why. Oh, hey! Hey, look who it is!
It's Mr. X.
Hi guys, how you doing?
What are you doing here?
It's here for kids. I mean, you got to do it for the kids.
Oh, well, welcome, Mr. X. Hey, do you want to join us today? Do you want to hang out and you know, spend the convention with us?
I'll be around.
So is this you back?
No, this me front. This me back.
And he's gone again. He'll be back.
Let's just get to the show.
Hey guys, Smurphy here at Heroes for Kid Comic-Con with my good friend Dan. Dan Nichols, you are part of the 501st. You know what? Instead of having me explain it, I'll just let you explain it. Explain your organization for people who don't know, and go ahead and explain who you're dressed as.
Okay, well today I'm actually representing the Rebel Legion, and it's a costuming group that does the good guys from the Star Wars universe. I'm also a member of the 501st, which is a costuming group that represents the bad guys. We also have the Mando Mercs that do the mercenaries, bounty hunters, that sort of thing, and the droid builders also. So today I'm representing with the Rebel Legion as an X-Wing pilot.
X-Wing pilot, okay.
Yeah.
Would you also cross-platform in Snowspeeder, or is it strictly X-Wing?
So the Snowspeeder is a very similar but slightly different costume. So with the Snowspeeder, there's actually like a coat that they wear, and then like different grayish gloves.
Oh, really?
So yeah, there's a little bit of a variation between a Snowspeeder and an X-Wing pilot. But a lot of the guys that have an X-Wing pilot, they go ahead and get qualified as a Snowspeeder also, because it's a minimum upcharge. So.
Got you. If you don't mind too, you obviously have got to be a Star Wars fan to do this, because I know you guys go to ball games, you guys do charity events, you guys do all sorts of stuff. I'll wait for... Okay. I know you guys do all sorts of like charity events. I always hear about you guys being all over, and that's awesome. So you got to love Star Wars. What was your first experience with Star Wars?
So my first experience with Star Wars was I was 5 years old, or 4 years old about, and I was set to be a ring bearer at my uncle's wedding. And my mom told me if I did a good job as a ring bearer in the wedding, she would take me to see the new Star Wars movie, which was Empire Strikes Back. So I actually saw them out of order. So in 1980, I saw Empire Strikes Back, and I've never had a spare penny since, and it's pretty much ruled my life ever since. So,
well, got you, man. I just want to say thanks for coming on the show. Anything else you want to talk about? Any more events coming up, or any shout-outs you want to give?
Yeah, well, we're doing quite a few events. I think our next big troop we're doing the Magic House on July the 28th.
In St. Louis.
In St. Louis.
Got it.
Yeah, I won't be there myself. My wife has a clarinet recital the same night, but that's our next big event, unless I'm thinking of something else. But we do charity events throughout the year. You can reach us through rebellegion.com or 501st.com if you have a group that's looking for Star Wars characters to be represented at. So.
Oh, cool. All right, so you guys even do like you guys don't do main events. You guys will do some smaller events too.
Yeah, we do smaller events. We do this. My wife and I were actually helping to open an all-inclusive playground for like an ADA compliant playground that they're doing across from the Target in St. Louis, South County. That's next Saturday. So it's on, I believe it's off of Lindbergh Road. I don't know the exact location, but we'll do smaller stuff.
It's
like that.
Lindbergh and 55, right? That one right next to Costco? Yeah, I think it's Rust Road is the name of the road, or Rusty Road or something like that. Yeah, but it's right there.
So they've opened a new ADA compliant playground there. So my wife and I are gonna be there, and that's a smaller event. So we do a lot of stuff like that around town. So.
Well, that's awesome, guys. So the next event, remember, wave to Dan, say hi. Hey guys, Smurphy here at Heroes for Kid Comic-Con, and we're with the creator of Warband, Want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, my name's Jennifer McKinney. I'm the writer and illustrator for the comic book. It's available today at Comic-Con in book form, and I also do a web comic.
Awesome. So if you don't mind, let's dive into it a little bit. Clearly, it looks like some medieval, right? Okay.
Yes.
Is it based off D&D?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I mean to bogart the mic from you. I apologize. What was your inspiration behind it?
Actually, one of the characters was a D&D 3.5 edition character that I played. He was a rogue sorcerer multi-class.
Okay.
And it went into epic levels, and I went into the prestige class Blood Magus.
Yeah, okay.
So I played a Blood Magus all the way up to 30th level, basically.
And
so,
are these based off some of your campaigns you've done?
Not based off the campaign. It's one of the characters was my first D&D character.
Got you. Okay, and then
Yeah.
you gave them. You
And
clearly
then-
gave them a whole
yeah,
group.
Yeah, I gave them a whole group to run with, and then the story evolved from there. Basically, the premise of it is that it's a 5-man band story.
Okay.
They are adventurers that are trying to survive in harsh north. They're they're snow elves.
Got you.
So and they have the issue that their city is stuck on the back of a glacier and it's moving.
Oh, that's a cool
because
concept.
of magical stuff caused it to fall off the mountain. That is what
yeah,
do.
D&D, yeah, more D&D nonsense, but that's an awesome story.
Yeah.
What a cool concept. I didn't even think of a concept of like a city on a glacier moving
Yeah.
around.
It is a mobile city, and they don't want it to be, basically.
But yeah, I don't blame you because I would be lost. Like if
Yes.
that was my character, like I went on an adventure, I'm back. Where's home?
Yeah.
Now I have to go find home.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, they know where home is. It's just that they have to go out and get things to bring home. So they're
Makes sense,
scavenger band.
Okay, got you.
So,
Yeah. Now, big town, small town. What are we talking here? Like I haven't read it yet, but now you are making me want to go read this super bad right now.
Yeah.
So like, is it a big town, small town? What are we talking here?
Small town, but
Okay.
yeah, they're so far away from their resources that they have to really dig.
They have to literally go scavenge and get their own resources, and they have to
Yeah.
become their own convoys and caravans to get stuff in there.
Right, yeah.
Got ya.
And then another problem they run into is that their city is heading towards the sea, so it's going to.
So now it's going out to sea. This sounds totally like something that would happen to me. Like, oh, there goes town. We better anchor that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. And so how long have you been kind of like working on this, and how long has it been going out?
I started working on this in 2015.
Okay.
Started with the character concepts, world building,
Got
and illustration, design, and
Awesome.
the whole mess. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And how long is the series right now?
Right now, I have a Chapter 0 prologue, which tells the story of how the characters meet.
Okay.
And then the Chapter 1 story, which you're holding, is their first adventure in the Warlock's Tower.
Gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
got you. And if you don't mind, you have another book. I'm going to grab it real fast. Sorry. If you don't mind, tell us about this one, guys.
Yeah.
So this is it's a little thicker, as you guys can see.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
It is actually a 30-page comic that is the prologue, the story of how the characters met, and
This is it. So this is the one you got to read the big one first, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the back of the book is actually an art book that has all of the world building information in it.
that's
So it's got illustrations, short stories, one-off comics, basically commentary with illustrations.
Okay.
So
okay.
yeah.
That's awesome because I know whenever you read any story, what makes a story great isn't necessarily the characters; it's also the world they live in.
Yeah.
You know, and without the world they live in, you just got 5 idiots
Yeah.
running around.
Yeah.
So at least in D&D, that's my experience.
Yeah.
Our crew are full of idiots. Not saying these guys are, but yeah, no, that sounds super exciting and awesome. I really cannot wait to dive into this.
Thank you.
So.
Oh, as a bonus, in the first issue,
Yeah,
in the back
good.
of it, I actually have 5th edition materials that are
Oh,
based
that's
on
super
the
cool.
story.
Yeah,
In basically the
that's awesome.
5th edition format with the tables and how to roll the traps. Basically.
Oh, that's super awesome.
It's the traps
Okay.
that they encounter during the story.
Well, guess what, new D&D campaign guys? I have some more traps for you.
Yeah.
Good luck, everybody else. Where can they find you?
They can find me at warbandcomic.com.
Okay.
I have my own website, and I'm also on Patreon.
Okay.
I'm also on Webtoons and Tapas.
Okay, cool, great.
So, yeah.
Any of those you prefer people to go to first, or does it matter?
I would love to see more people on my Patreon,
Okay.
of course. More support always makes me happy.
Right, no, got you.
Yeah.
And that's where they can find it, buy it, and you'll ship it to them.
Yeah, they can
Perfect.
find the comic page is released early for patrons.
Oh, got you. Okay.
And I also have a Discord channel available for patrons where they can get early updates on the comic process.
Oh, that's awesome too. Okay.
And yeah, I also have an Amazon page where I sell books.
Got you. So
Yeah.
Amazon too. When in doubt, sadly, go to Amazon. They always have it. So
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, awesome. I appreciate you being on. It's
All
been
right.
fantastic. Thanks.
Thank you so much. I
Have a great
appreciate
one.
it.
Hey guys, Smurphy here at Heroes for Kids Comic Con. Things are going pretty good. Been pretty packed so far. Ooh, it's Mr. X. Mr. X, come here. Hey, man, you got time to ask a couple questions?
I have time to answer 3 questions.
Can you give me 5?
No, I can give you 3, and that's the first one.
What? Really?
That's 2.
Why?
And that's 3. Thanks for having me.
But people want to know, are you back? Why, thanks, Smurphy. It's been Mr. X. It's been fun. You're welcome, man. Have a good one.
Hello, listeners. We've got another very special interview here for you. You guys know that you've heard Smurphy and I talk about this plenty of times on the show, that Smurphy and I work together in a comic shop in the St. Louis area called Comic Headquarters. What, Smurphy, you worked there for about 15 years?
Yeah, easily. Yep.
And I worked there for about 20 years or so. Well, we are here still at the Heroes for Kids Con in Perryville, and we have a very special guest here. We have Mr. Eric Hawkins here, who was one of our customers back in the day at the shop, and now, Eric, you have your own comic.
I do. I've been self-publishing, the Zombieful World of Oz since 2019 through Kickstarter, but then I come to shows and I sell copies as well.
Sure.
We're up to our 5th issue.
That's awesome.
It's a story of a grown-up Dorothy who spent 10 years in an insane asylum.
Okay.
And when she is reconditioned, she's allowed to leave, and that's when Oz comes to find her in the form of zombies. Then the Tin Man, Scarecrow, and Lion come and rescue her to take her back to Oz.
That sounds awesome.
Thanks.
So are you...
Was Dorothy all like, oh, is this a dream? They're like, no, it was real. We need you back.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah.
I'm there. Yep, nope, I'm there.
So are you writing and drawing fully yourself, or is there a team on it, or?
It's me. I'm the writer, I'm the illustrator, I'm the colorer, the letterist. I do have an editor, who's Brian K. Morris, who you guys might know. He's at a lot of the cons around here, but he just goes through. I say, hey, don't mess with my art. You can just correct my punctuation.
So he just makes sure that everything is legible, that it makes sense and connects.
Exactly.
Yeah. Good. So 5 issues. You're getting ready to release the 5th issue. Is that correct?
5th issue is at the printer right now. I got the proofs back 2 days ago.
Oh, wow.
So they'll be going out to the backers. Each issue has grown on Kickstarter, funding and backer-wise, so that's been great. We're up 186 backers was the highest amount we had.
Nice.
Yeah, very nice.
And
Very
just
nice.
8,000 was
Nice.
the biggest issue. Yeah. So.
Nice. Has a website, I'm assuming, or at least social media presence?
You can find me on Kickstarter, or not Kickstarter, but on Facebook, Zombieful World of Oz, or Eric Hawkins, or Stone Door Studios.
Okay. And we'll get links, listeners, for that. Those will all be in the description below if you're watching this on YouTube, or in the show notes if you're just listening to it. Eric, this is super cool. So this is the first trade, right?
Yes, this is issues 1 through 3.
Okay.
It's 120 pages.
Wow.
With some extra art from friends that I do a drawing show with on Thursday nights.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's super cool. So is the next trade then going to be issues 5, 6, and 7? Then is that what you're
4, 5, and 6.
4, 5, and 6. I can do math.
Yeah. So it'll be about a year away. I release one a year.
Okay.
And I started a spin-off of this one last year.
Oh.
Zombieful Adventures, which is in the same zombie verse. But the first issue was Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn as very old U.S. Marshals.
Okay.
They had to rescue a runaway train running through Missouri full of zombies that had Becky Thatcher on it.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
Issue 2, which I'm going to fund this fall, will be in Neverland with Peter Pan, Captain Hook, and all those guys.
Yeah, okay.
So, listeners, you definitely want to find, click on the link. You want to find his stuff so that when the next Kickstarter for any of the issues comes up, you guys can jump on it, because this is really cool. And Eric, all the years that you would come in the shop, and both Smurphy and I would pull, between the two of us, we would pull the new pull list issues for the Save List guys every week. I don't think I ever knew in that entire time that you were an artist, and he is a fantastic artist, guys.
Well, thank you.
This stuff is really good.
I mean, I didn't really broadcast it. I'd done some drawings and sending some submissions to Marvel. They told me I sucked. So I just
Well, they suck.
Yeah.
They suck.
So eventually, the way it is now, it's so easy to self-publish.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I went that way.
That is so super cool.
Smart move.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's working out for you, man. I'm honestly excited.
Thank
Can't
you.
wait to read it. So,
Thank
yeah.
you. It was
Yeah.
great to see you guys.
You
I am
too.
so glad I noticed.
I am
you
so
from
glad
down
you
there.
caught us. I'm definitely going to pick up one. Listeners, get online, check this guy's stuff out. Not only is it good stuff, quality stuff, but Eric's just a good guy in general, and just you want to support good
He's
people.
local.
Yes.
And he's local, so those of you that are in the St. Louis area that are watching, check out the Zombieful World of Oz. Hey there, listeners. Dr. Impact and Mr. X here. We've got a special interview here for you guys on this segment. We've talked about getting this guy on the show before, primarily because Mr. X and I are, let's say, kind of close to him, in
not
some
just
ways,
location-wise,
and not just
I mean,
just physically.
right,
So,
yeah.
finally, welcome to the show, Wyatt Weed.
Hey guys, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good to be here. Good to be here.
So for those of you out there, for those of you listeners who have been following, if you don't already know, obviously you guys know that I did a vampire film years ago called Shadowland, and Mr. X and I co-wrote and co-produced and co-starred in the comic book-centric movie COLOR EULOGY. Well, Mr. Weed here was the director of both of those films, and you also wrote Shadowland, right?
I did write Shadowland. Yeah, that was my baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was actually the film that we all met on, was
Yes.
through Shadowland.
Yes, you came to be in the film because I was scanning your Facebook page, and there was this photo of you with your nice shaggy beard and your nice long hair with your cat draped over your
Yeah.
shoulder. And I was
Yeah.
like, that's the guy.
Yeah.
That's the guy I need.
Yeah. And then we started to geek out about Universal horror films and Hammer films, and then we dragged Mr. X into it, and then the three of us just kind of all just started geeking out about everything under the sun.
We've joked about you being my Kurt Russell, like I'm John Carpenter, you're my Kurt Russell. I wish we had done more films together, like John Carpenter and Kurt Russell, and Mr. X. What does that make you then? If he's my Kurt Russell, then that makes you my John Goodman, my.
Oh, I wish I was your John Goodman.
Yeah, you're my John Goodman. You're
All
my
right,
John
fine,
Goodman.
I'm John Goodman.
How about your Donald Pleasance?
My Donald Pleasance.
if we're
I
gonna-
shot him
I
6
like-
times.
There we
If
go.
we're sticking with the Carpenter,
Okay,
yeah.
no, that works for me.
Yeah.
That works. I
Okay.
can deal with that. I
Yeah.
can deal with that.
Yeah. So, Wyatt, you're here at Heroes for Horror. Obviously, you're really here talking about Predator and Star Trek. So, let some of our listeners out there know exactly what your involvement with Predator and Star Trek is.
Sure. Ideally, my mission in life is to be a film director, and I just finished directing my third feature film. But when I first went out to Los Angeles back in the olden days of 1988, I went out there with the idea of acting my way into directing, and then I got out there and realized that it's tough enough just to be an actor or just to be a director without acting your way into directing.
That's
so
for sure.
it was very hard to pay the bills acting, so eventually I just switched over to directing altogether. But I had some success in the early days of acting, and I managed to get a small bit part on Star Trek The Next Generation, a third season episode called The High Ground for you fans out there. And then I managed to land a part as a Predator in Predator 2. At the end of Predator 2, all the Predators decloak and surround Danny Glover, and I am the Boar Predator. And you Predator fans, you NECA toy collectors, will know the Boar Predator. So that was really, really cool. I had worked a lot with a guy named Steve Wang, and Steve Wang had done the Predator suit on the first film, so when Predator 2 rolled around, I had that inside connection, and he knew I was a suit performer and that I could get into a foam costume and not freak out. So yeah, that was my short-lived and brilliant acting career. But we've had a lot of fun here in the Midwest. Since I've come back from LA, there's not a lot of big union jobs, but there's a lot of indie film work. And I'm sort of getting a second life as an actor. Now that I'm a little older, I'm kind of doing the character stuff now. I'm not worrying about trying to be the young leading man. I'm, sometimes I grow in the beard, and sometimes I'm a roughneck, and sometimes I'm somebody's dad, and so it's like a whole new lease on acting.
Well, and on that note too, you've also started to get more into the fan film.
Yes.
You wrote, directed, and starred in a fan film of your own that both Mr. X and I both appeared in.
Yes.
With you, but I don't think our listeners really probably know that. I don't know if we've talked a whole lot about that on the show, which we probably should at some point. Let everybody know what that fan film is.
I did a fan film called The Dark Knight Returns, and it's based on like the first issue of Frank Miller's seminal The Dark Knight Returns, which was the 4-issue series from 1986. One of the most brilliant comic books ever written, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. Kind of really, really formative in the modern era with like Watchmen and, The Dark Knight Returns, and gosh, I don't know what else was really so powerful. But it kind of adapts that first comic book. It's just that first night when the old and retired Bruce Wayne finally snaps and has had enough and comes out of retirement and comes back onto the streets as Batman again. And it was something I've wanted to do since I was a kid, and so I finally got the chance to do it. And you play the taxi driver.
That's right. Yep, I'm the taxi driver.
Taking money to look the other way while the pimp starts cutting up the prostitute. And Nick, it wasn't really a part that was set in the comic book, but we cast you as the police officer Bullock in a part, and that was something that Jason came up with. We were talking before you had gotten on set, and we were like, should we give Nick's character a name? And Jason was like, oh my God, if you call him Bullock.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Nick will love that. That'll be great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that is online, everybody. That is on YouTube. You can find that. Will be links in the below.
The Dark Knight Returns, an epic fan film.
That's right. And you've got another one that you just shot recently too, didn't you?
Yeah,
Can you talk about that one yet? Are you able to?
I can talk about it to a certain degree. You understand the experience of the difficulty of trying to make film projects during COVID.
Oh, yes, we do.
And my wife and I just finally got so frustrated because so many projects that we were involved in got shut down. And we had just moved into an old house in a notoriously haunted part of Illinois, Alton, Illinois, one of the most haunted cities in the country. Our house is decidedly not haunted, but we spent the first 6 months in the house during COVID trying to figure out what that noise is, and why is this creaking, and why is this banging, and why is that making spooky noises. And so earlier that following year, we just, with the frustration of COVID, we looked at each other one day and we were like, why don't we make a film? And, we have all the equipment, and I'm an actor, and you're a camera operator, and so my wife and I kind of wrote it together, co-directed it, and it's really just one man's story in a haunted house and what he goes through. And so it took us, almost 18 months to shoot it, but we're finally wrapping it up. We're finally submitting it to festivals, and I'm really proud of it. I think it feels weird, but you guys will understand what I'm saying when I say it's like a real movie.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't feel like, this is a cheap movie that you and your wife made on your own. No, you watch it, and it's like it has a beginning, a middle, and an end, and it doesn't feel small, and it doesn't feel like it was just two people. And, it really came together, and I'm really happy with it.
And are you able to share the title? Are you okay with that?
Yes. Okay. It is Dark at the Top of the Stairs, not based on the old play, but it's Dark at the Top of the Stairs. I'm hoping it'll premiere at the St. Louis International Film Festival this fall. I've submitted it. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. But we'll definitely put it online. It'll be streaming. We're still old school. DVDs will be available if you still have a player. So,
That'll be nice for us because, I feel like the three of us always tend to work together a lot. And not that we aren't there or haven't been there to help out or potentially help out with Dark at the Top of the Stairs, but our involvement is or will be so minuscule that it's nice because we actually get to watch it. I mean, aside from being friends and colleagues for so many years, we are also Wyatt Weed fans.
Yes.
So, this is a chance we actually get to watch this with that, and I'm trying very hard every time we meet up to not ask you a whole lot because I want...
Yeah, I want to be surprised. I don't want to know anything about it. I want to go into it and experience it.
Yeah.
And that'll be fun because I'll be able to judge a lot based on your reactions. If you guys kind of come out and be like, yeah, of all the films I've seen, that was one of them.
That was a film.
Then I'll know that I'm in trouble. But if you come out and you're like, wow, I'll be like, okay, cool. I know that I showed you, I want Jason to be in a brief scene, which is a recreation of an old 1960s black and white TV show. I want him to be in this brief scene. So I showed him a couple of minutes of the opening of the film, like, here, Jason, this is the quality of what we're doing. And he watched the opening scene and he went, okay, that's cool. I don't want to see any more. He's like, I want to be surprised. I don't want to see any more of this. I'm like, okay, cool.
I didn't even want you to send me the script. I was like, no, I don't want to know anything. I want to go in.
Just gave you the scene.
Just the scene that I
Just the scene.
Not that I'll be able to. You know how I am with lines.
I just became a lead in my first feature film, and that's a lot of work. Even with me starring in it and producing it and helping light it, and my wife directing and shooting, it's still a pain.
Oh, sure.
That's a lot. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot to carry. It's a lot. I have respect for you, the lead actors in films. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Feels good, but wow. I mean, you would think us doing it ourselves, it would be that much easier, and it only made it like this much easier.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sure. Because you're still putting everything into it, so you still have to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Wyatt, thanks for taking the time to be on. We'll have to get you on sometime in
when it's
bigger
you guys.
depth.
When it's you guys.
Look at that. Well, and also too, I mean, you get the three of us together, and you know that we can just go on and on for hours. So
absolutely.
we'll have to do that
and will. Yeah.
However, we're gonna have to keep you around because I think Smurphy wanted to conduct an interview of his
He has
own.
like 2 or 3 questions for you.
Yeah.
That's just burning
in his So
okay, I will help him extinguish that fire.
Good luck on that.
Okay.
Hey guys, Smurphy here with Wyatt. Wyatt was a predator. Question for you. When you go to the supermarket and you turn invisible, that's got to make shopping easier, right?
Oh, there's so much stuff. Like, that's when I get the shrimp, I get the lobster, I get the clams, like the stuff that I can't normally, sirloin steak. Because I'm like, prices are such that I'm back to like pork chops. But when I'm cloaked, brie cheese, good bottle of wine. You have to be careful. You have to take them out like one at a time because if you're carrying a bunch of stuff,
they'll see it.
The cashiers see this like big mass of food. So yeah. Oh no, it's cool.
And if being from St. Louis, you know traffic is horrendous, especially 270 rush hour. The ship has got to make it easier for getting home, right? You're just right over.
Well, you would think that, except there's so much traffic in and out of Lambert.
That's true.
Lambert.
What about
St. Louis
Spirit?
International.
Go to Spirit.
But Spirit's, that's way out in Chesterfield,
That's true.
right?
Yeah, that's Highway 40.
And who wants to deal? Yeah, who wants to deal?
You
with
could
40?
go to Cahokia.
Okay, that's not a bad
Airport.
idea.
That's not a bad idea. It's a little less traffic.
That's not okay, but see, with the cloaking thing again, you can hop on anybody's vehicle.
Well, right.
Like I can climb on.
You mean like my car? You just be on my hood.
Or I can climb on the back of an ambulance and I can put in a fake call.
That's amazing.
On the side of town to where I need to be, and then I'm just hanging. I'm predatoring on the back of the thing.
Guys.
Yeah. So yeah.
And then the important question: I see you're not wearing it, but with your detonator, is your number the same as like your PIN number for your debit card? Because if not, like, how do you remember that? Because you don't want to sit there and be like,
no.
Oh, it's like 1, 2. It's not. It better not be 1, 2, 3, 4.
No, because the other thing too is then you have to watch out. If you've upset any ladies in your life,
right? Oh, yeah. Well, why are you giving out the code? Hey, listen, honey, here's my detonator code.
Things happen.
Okay. Build that trust, and then give him a fake code.
Yeah,
fake numbers.
Well, but then you're trying to get somewhere with them.
Oh, yeah.
Build
trust, I
they
guess.
find out.
Hey, honey, you got my detonator code. It's serious.
What is guiding you, the big predator head or the little predator head?
That's fair. You gotta listen to both.
And I have to admit, I'm not necessarily always the best judge. So, no, I start making up weird, like, Okay, have you ever heard the thing about what's your porn name? It's like the street you were born
Right.
on and the name of your first pet.
Yep.
I start doing stuff like that.
Okay, well,
I start doing stuff like
right.
that. It's
Okay.
not.
Yeah, right.
It's not the first street I lived on and my pet's first name. It's not that at all. But yeah, no.
Okay. Those are the important questions inquiring minds want to know. Thanks, Wyatt.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Well, that just about wraps up the Heroes for Kids Perryville Comic-Con for this year. Fellas, this was fun.
Yep.
Oh yeah, this was nice.
This was a lot of fun and so super cool to run into people, old friends, and we obviously, Smurphy and I, we're sporting our Zombieful World of Oz beanies, that we got, and so many cool projects, local creators and that. This was fun, guys.
It was a good con.
Yeah.
Yeah, good con.
So I do have to ask a very important question, though, here, and I think Smurphy is in the same boat with me.
I ain't asking it. You do, go ahead.
I'll ask it. Mr. X, we got to know, are you back?
People have been asking me if I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer. But yeah, I'm thinking I'm back. Or not. I don't know. Who knows?
Oh, I guess you'll just have to tune in to future episodes of my Big Fat Pull List to find out, guys. Until then, thanks for watching. I'm Dr. Impact.
I'm Smurphy.
And I'm Mr. X. Or am I?
And now you know. But as they say, knowing is only half the battle. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the show on your favorite platform. And follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And spread the word to all the listeners out there.
How's my hair? War bonds, like from Captain America. Remember that's what he was going around selling. Come buy your war bonds. Yeah. Support the troops.
It's typically better to know.
I know. Well, that's why. It's also, if I just get the stupidness out of the way now, it helps break the ice. Yeah, I know. That's why. Well, when I was looking at Upside Down too, I was like, dude, I'm already I feel like I'm dyslexic, so I'm like, who knows what I'm gonna say. So.
Because you're Dr.
Impact,
and you are
Mr. X.
Mr. X. Okay.
Yeah. So think Racer X, but just
okay.
I'm not a racer anymore. I'm just Mr.
Work with
Just
me,
a
Speed
Mr.
Racer.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.